The reality of modern trucks and the high cost of repairs. I had a customer come into my shop about 6 months ago driving a 2220 Ram 1500 with the Hemi. It was a beautiful truck, lifted, with blacked out wheels, the kind of truck that turns heads in the parking lot. He had 68,000 miles on it and a monthly payment of $847. He needed a cam and lifter job, and the dealer quoted him $4,800. He looked at me across the service counter and said something I hear at least 3 times a month now. He said, "I just want something that does not break. I do not care if it is pretty. I do not care if it is new. I just want a truck that runs." I walked him out to the shop parking lot and pointed at 3 trucks: my personal truck, my lead tech's truck, and my shop truck that we use to pick up parts and tow equipment. 3 different makes, 3 different years, and all of them were over 200,000 miles. Combined repair costs across all 3 trucks over the last 5 years were less than what his Ram needed in one single visit. Every single one of them cost under $12,000, and every single one of them has the mechanical DNA to hit 500,000 miles without a rebuild. After 22 years of turning wrenches professionally, I have watched the truck market lose its mind. People are financing $65,000 pickups with twin turbos, 10-speed transmissions, and technology so complicated that a single sensor failure throws the entire drivetrain into limp mode. Meanwhile, 3 specific trucks keep rolling through my bay doors at 280,000 miles, 340,000 miles, and I am not exaggerating, past 400,000 miles with original engines and original transmissions. And nobody is talking about them because they are not flashy, they are not new, and they do not have a payment book attached to them. Today, I am going to tell you exactly which 3 trucks those are, why mechanics trust them with their own families, and how to find one for under $12,000 that will outlast anything on a dealer lot right now. If this kind of straight talk helps you, hit subscribe. I have more videos coming on the trucks that actually last versus the ones dealerships push because they need to move inventory. Top 1, 2003 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Let me start with the one sitting in my parking lot right now, my shop truck. It is a 2003 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 LS with the 5.3L Vortec V8 crew cab 4-wheel drive. I bought it 4 years ago with 189,000 miles for $6,400. It now has 287,000 miles. It has the original engine and the original 4L60E transmission. Neither one has ever been opened. I change the oil every 5,000 miles with conventional oil. I have replaced the fuel pump once, the water pump once, and a starter motor. Total repair costs over 4 years and almost 100,000 miles of hard use were $1,280. That is not a typo. Here is what people do not understand about the 1999 to 2006 Silverado with the 5.3. This generation of the 5.3 LV8, the LM7 variant specifically, does not have active fuel management. That matters more than almost anything else I can tell you. The later 5.3 engines from 2007 and up got AFM, which deactivates 4 cylinders under light load to save fuel. Sounds brilliant in a boardroom. In a repair bay, it is a nightmare. AFM has caused more lifter failures, more oil consumption problems, and more expensive repair bills than any other system General Motors has ever put in a truck. The pre-AFM 5.3 does not have that problem. It runs on all 8 cylinders all the time, and it just works. The engine block on the LM7 is cast iron, not aluminum. Cast iron can absorb heat cycles, minor overheating events, and general abuse that would warp or crack an aluminum block. It uses a timing chain designed to last the life of the engine, not a timing belt that needs a $1,200 replacement every 100,000 miles. The 4L60E 4-speed automatic behind it is one of the most produced and most understood transmissions in automotive history. Every transmission shop in America has rebuilt thousands of them. A full rebuild costs $1,800 to $2,400 at an independent shop. Try getting a modern 10-speed rebuilt for under $4,500. You will not. Brake pads for all 4 corners on this truck cost $180. Water pump replacement is $350. Starter motor is $220. The fuel pump, which is honestly the most common repair I see on high mileage examples, is $500 to $650 for parts and labor. These are real numbers from my shop, not dealer prices. These are real-world costs from someone who has been servicing these trucks for 2 decades. Now, if you are going to buy one, you need to know what to look for because these trucks do have a weakness, and it is not the engine. First, check the oil on the dipstick for a milky color. Some 1999 to 2003 models use Castex cylinder heads that are prone to cracking. Milky oil means coolant is mixing with oil. Walk away immediately. If the oil is clean, you are in good shape. Second, and this is the big one, check for rust. Look at the rocker panels, the cab corners, and get underneath the truck and inspect the frame. Surface rust is normal on any 20-year-old truck. Flaking rust is a negotiation tool. Holes in the frame mean the truck is done. Third, test the four-wheel drive. Engage it at low speed in a parking lot and turn the wheel. Grinding or popping means the transfer case or front differential needs attention, and that is $600 to $200. Fourth, look at the instrument cluster. The stepper motors in the gauges are a known failure on this generation. If the speedometer or fuel gauge is dead, it is only a $150 fix to send the cluster out for repair, but it tells you the previous owner was the type to ignore things. That mentality probably extended to oil changes. You can find clean examples of the 2003 to 2006 Silverado with the 5.3 for $5,000 to $9,000 right now. If you are willing to do light cosmetic work, you can find them under $5,000. For a truck that will realistically run another 200,000 miles on basic maintenance, that is the best dollars per mile deal in the full-size truck market, and it is not even close. Top 2, 2011-2014 F-150 with the 5.0 Coyote. But here is the thing. As much as I love the Silverado, I have to be honest about something. There is a Ford engine that caught me off guard. And I say that as someone who spent years warning people away from Ford trucks because of the 5.4L Triton V8, which was one of the worst engines Ford ever built. It had spark plug ejection, cam phaser failures, and timing chain nightmares. The 5.4L gave Ford a bad reputation in the truck world that lasted a decade. Then in 2011, Ford did something nobody expected. They replaced the 5.4 with the 5.0L Coyote V8, and it changed everything. My lead technician, the guy who has been with me for 11 years, drives a 2013 F-150 XLT with the 5.0 Coyote. He bought it 2 years ago with 142,000 miles for $10,800. He is now at 194,000 miles. You know what he has done to it? Oil changes, a set of brake pads, and one serpentine belt. That is it. He is a master technician with 18 years of experience and access to any vehicle he wants at wholesale. He chose that truck. That should tell you something. I also had a fleet manager come through my shop recently. He ran 14 F-150s for a plumbing company, all with 5.0 Coyote engines. All were 2012 and 2013 models. The lowest mileage truck in that fleet had 212,000 miles. The highest had 326,000 miles on the original engine and original transmission. He told me the only engine-related repairs across the entire fleet were water pumps and spark plugs. That is 14 trucks over 3 million combined miles. No engine rebuilds, no transmission replacements. When I heard that, I stopped recommending the Coyote quietly and started telling everyone. Here is why the 5.0 Coyote is in a different league from the engine it replaced. It is a dual overhead cam, 4-valve per cylinder, naturally aspirated V8 producing 360 to 385 horsepower, depending on the model year. There are no turbos to fail, no supercharger seals to leak, and no forced induction complexity of any kind. The crankshaft is forged steel, not cast. That is the same construction method used in racing engines built to survive sustained high RPM punishment. The connecting rods are powdered metal, which are stronger than conventional cast rods. Ford also uses twin independent variable cam timing to optimize power across the RPM range without adding the failure points that come with turbocharging. And critically, the 2011 to 2014 models are paired with a proven 6-speed automatic transmission, not the 10-speed that came later and brought a wave of shudder complaints and harsh shifting problems. The most expensive repair I have ever done on a Coyote F-150 was a timing chain and guide replacement at 198,000 miles. That cost $400 for parts and labor. That is the big-ticket item on these trucks, and it is rare before 200,000 miles if you use quality synthetic oil and change it on schedule. Compare that to a cam phaser repair on the old 5.4 Triton at $2,800 to $3,500. The Coyote is not just better. It is a completely different experience of owning a Ford truck. When you are shopping for one, there are a few things to watch. Some 2011 and early 2012 models had minor oil consumption issues related to early piston ring tolerances. Ford corrected it in later production. It is not a deal breaker, but check the oil level and ask how often the previous owner topped off between changes. Listen for ticking on cold start. The Coyote uses hydraulic lash adjusters that can tick for a few seconds when cold, and that is completely normal. If the ticking persists past 30 seconds of running, the timing chain guides may be wearing. Check the water pump. Ford used a plastic impeller water pump on some models, and they fail between 100,000 and 150,000 miles. A replacement runs about $450. If it has already been done, that is actually a positive sign about how the truck was maintained. And because these are the pre-aluminum body years, 2011 to 2014, check for rust underneath, especially if the truck spent its life in the northern states. Average price for a 2012 to 2014 F-150 XLT with the 5.0 and 120,000 to 160,000 miles is $8,000 to $12,000. And on this engine, 150,000 miles is not high mileage. It is middle age. You have another 150,000 to 200,000 miles of reliable service ahead of you. Buy one for $9,000 to $11,000, drive it to $350,000, and spend maybe $300-500 on maintenance and repairs over that entire stretch. Show me another truck that does that math at this price point. You cannot. Top 3, Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 V8. Now, everything I just said about the Silverado and the F-150 is true. They are excellent trucks. They will go 300,000 miles or more with basic maintenance, but neither of them can touch what I am about to tell you about the truck I keep in my own driveway. I need you to understand, I do not say this because of brand loyalty. I do not say this because somebody is paying me to say it. I say this because in 22 years of working on trucks professionally, I have never seen an engine do what this one does. Not once. Not from any manufacturer. My personal truck is a 2010 Toyota Tundra Crew Max with a 5.7L V8. I bought it 3 years ago with 161,000 miles for $11,200. It now has 238,000 miles. The only repairs I have done are brakes, spark plugs, and a secondary air injection pump that threw a check engine light, but had no effect on how the truck actually runs. The engine does not burn oil. It does not leak. It starts the same way every single morning, immediately, quietly, and without drama. It drives the same at 238,000 miles as it did the day I bought it. But my truck is not the story. The story is what this engine has proven on a scale that no other half-ton pickup in history can match. In 2016, a man named Victor Shepard drove his 2007 Tundra past 1 million miles. It had the original engine and the original transmission. Toyota was so impressed, they bought the truck back and gave him a brand new one. They tore down the engine to study what made it last. The truck had been serviced 117 times over that 1 million miles, but the internals were still within specification. Then Shepard bought a 2014 Tundra, also with the 5.7, and drove that one past 1 million miles by April 2025. 2 trucks, 2 1 million mile milestones, same owner, same engine family. A second owner, Aaron Morvant, reached 1 million miles on his own 2007 Tundra in 2019. These are not internet rumors. These are documented, verified Toyota case study events. No other half-ton pickup truck on earth has that track record. None. Here is what makes the 3UR FE 47 LV8 borderline ridiculous in how long it lasts. The engine block is aluminum alloy with cast iron cylinder liners pressed into the bores. Toyota X-rays every single block during manufacturing to check for casting voids and deformities before it ever goes into a truck. That is a quality control step you expect from aerospace manufacturing, not a pickup truck assembly line. The crankshaft is forged steel. The timing system uses heavy-duty chains designed to last the life of the engine. There is no turbocharger. There is no direct injection system creating carbon buildup on the intake valves. There is no active fuel management system eating lifters. The engine makes 381 horsepower and 401 pound-feet of torque, the old-fashioned way with displacement, airflow, and engineering so conservative, it borders on over-engineering. And that is exactly why it outlasts everything else. Toyota did not try to squeeze every last miles per gallon or every last horsepower out of this design. They built it to survive, and it does. The six-speed automatic transmission paired with this engine shares architecture with transmissions used in Toyota's Lexus luxury vehicles, retuned for truck applications. I have personally worked on 5 Tundras north of 300,000 miles. All 5 still had their original transmissions. Not one needed a rebuild. I worked on one at 412,000 miles that the owner used for hotshot delivery. Original engine, original transmission. It idled smoother than some trucks I see with 40,000 miles. Now, the Tundra does cost a little more than the Silverado or the F-150 because Toyota trucks hold their value stubbornly. A 2008 to 2012 Tundra SR5 with the 5.7 and 150,000 to 180,000 miles typically runs at $9,000 to $14,000. To get under $12,000, you are usually looking at a 2007 to 2010 model with 160,000 miles or more. And I know what you are thinking. 160,000 miles sounds like a lot. On any other truck, I would agree with you. On this truck, 160,000 miles means you are maybe 40% through the engine's useful life. That part of the conversation changes how you think about mileage entirely. You are not buying a worn-out truck. You are buying a truck that is barely broken in by its own standards. When you are inspecting a Tundra, here is what matters. Check the ball joints first. These are the #1 wear item on the front suspension. Grab the bottom of the front tire and push it in and out. Any play means they need replacement, which is about $400. Negotiate it into the price. Listen for a ticking sound on cold start from the exhaust manifold. Some early models had exhaust manifold bolts that would break from repeated heat cycling. The tick fades as the engine warms up. It is not dangerous, but it is a $300 to $500 fix, depending on how many bolts are broken. Look around the water pump housing for dried red or orange residue, especially on 2007 to 2009 models. Toyota updated the water pump design to fix an early weeping issue, and a replacement runs $600 to $700. My pro tip is to find one owned by a family that used it for towing a boat on weekends and commuting during the week. Those are the trucks that got regular highway miles, consistent maintenance, and gentle driving. A 2010 to 2013 Tundra in that condition with 150,000 miles is the single best used truck purchase you can make right now. The fuel economy is the trade-off. I will not sugarcoat it. The Tundra gets 13 miles per gallon in the city and 17 miles per gallon on the highway. That is what you pay for an engine that refuses to die. If gas mileage is your top priority, this truck is not for you. If your top priority is buying one truck and driving it confidently for the next 15 to 20 years without a single sleepless night wondering if it will start in the morning, nothing else comes close. Conclusion and final thoughts. So there they are, a Chevy, a Ford, and a Toyota. 3 trucks that the market forgot about while mechanics kept buying them for their own families. The Silverado with the pre-AFM 5.3L Vortec that costs nothing to buy and even less to fix. The F-150 with the 5L Coyote that made Ford guys and Chevy guys both admit quietly that Ford built something special. And the Tundra with the 5.7L that has done something no other half-ton has ever done. Twice documented past 1 million miles on original drivetrains. You now know 3 trucks you can buy for under $12,000 that will outlast trucks costing 4 and 5 times as much. Next time someone tells you that you need to finance a new truck to get something reliable, you will know the truth. Reliability does not cost $65,000. It never did. Now, if you want to know which trucks to avoid, the ones that look incredible on the lot, but will bleed your wallet dry before they hit 100,000 miles, I did a whole video on that. It is right here. That is 22 years of watching trucks come and go. Like if it helped. Subscribe for more. I will keep giving you the truth dealerships will not. Drive safe. Take care of your truck and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one. If this breakdown changed how you look at the high mileage trucks in your neighborhood, Please subscribe and like the video. We are uncovering the mechanical history that the big dealerships have tried to bury. Drive into a reliable future. The next automotive treasure will be revealed very soon.